You want to keep the comb parallel to the side of the head, and this is going to create our guide for the sides. I'm using a white clipper comb. So the idea of using a wide comb, you can see the whole blade fits on the comb. And being that it's a light colored comb, you can see the hair coming out of the comb. Now as we get to the back, we want to slightly round into the back here. And now we're going to stay a little bit below where we left off with the 1/2 inch blade. And fade right into it. Okay, now we're going to start down at the bottom. A lot of cuts across the top. Again, that way we don't have any lines of demarcation. Have a very strong comb. And then I'm going to pull the hair from the front. And line it up with the back. So, and then when I use a stronger product and dry the hair all straight up in the air, it'll be even. You can see his hair has a strong tendency to want to grow to the side. So now we're going to stand from the side, and we're going to pull the hair towards the center. And line it up. So if you can see that right there, you can see the center guide, you can see what needs to be cut, and we're going to line that up. I like the length his hair is at now for the style that we're going for, but I want to take some of the thickness out so we can get the hair to stand up and to lift up when we style it. So I'm going to go through the top, again with a scissor over comb technique with the texturizing shear. I'm angling the comb up towards the front because I want to leave the bangs or the front length longer. I'm using a white colored comb so I can see the contrast with the dark hair. Whereas if we did this step first, we'd completely lose sight of the cutting surface, the cutting blade, and we would be in danger of going too high. So a big reason for being able to get done with your haircuts more efficiently, faster, more accurate, is eliminating the blending step. Okay, so we have the clipper in the open position, and we're going to go all the way across the back, and then we're going to close the clipper down halfway. We'll start in the middle and we'll work to the right, and then we'll work to the left. Then we're going to close it down all the way and not go as high. And when you're styling it, the best way to do it is to kind of push it down in the back with your fingers and then lift it up a little bit in the front. And here we are with the 360 view. And I'm angling the comb down towards the back, again, so we can get the hair shorter towards the back. And we want to take it up pretty high and fade it right into where we just left off. So I'm going to do about a third of the head at a time. Then I'm going to close it down halfway. Then we're going to close it down all the way. So by shaving down, we're shaving with the grain. By shaving up, we're shaving against the grain. So you have to go slow, let the clipper work. And you don't need to press hard. Just stretching the skin and going slow with the clipper and allowing it to work will do the trick. Doesn't require a lot of pressure. So we're going to consult the client and then decide what we're going to do at the very front of the haircut. We've just finished consulting with the client, and he decided he'd like to push the hair back a little bit more. And once we did that, we decided that together that the length is perfect for the desired style. So we're going to stop there, and we're going to give you a 360 view to show you the complete haircut. Now we're going to start on the opposite side. Locate your center guide. Fingers are parallel to the floor, and we're taking small sections. Never let go of the hair. You want to keep a constant tension on the hair. That way we get an even cut. And we're going to take our last section, finding our previous guide from the center. And we're going to work our way to the back. We're going to use a light colored comb so we can see the hair. And we're going to start to remove a lot of that weight. Remember, we said in the beginning of the haircut we have to fade them up a little bit higher, past the point where it sticks out. So I'm keeping the comb parallel to the side of the head. And what we're doing is, as we get to the top, we're slightly rounding it into the top. So what I do with the shorter blade is, as the head rounds here, I let it push the tip of the teeth outwards. I push the heel of the blade in, and then I take an imaginary line straight up in the air, a little bit lower. So that fades it from one blade into the next blade without leaving a line. So you want to use a nice slow fading motion. All the hair on the bottom, we're going to worry about that until the end. Just leave that to the end. We want to keep it parallel to the floor. I'm starting out with the clipper in the longest position, with the blade in the longest position. And we're using a scooping motion. Then we're going to close it down halfway in between. And we're going to do it again and not go up as high. Now we're going to close the blade down all the way into the shortest position, and again, not go up as high. Now this is what you call a low natural hairline versus a high taper. And then we're going to do the same thing in the front, except we're going to follow it and we're going to lift it up a little bit in the front. Just like that. Now when we give you the full 360-degree view around, you can see right here, as it goes forward in the front and it comes back, it should all blend and meet right there. And then in the back, you have to keep in mind right exactly where the crown is, so we split the crown and we brush it in the proper direction. And then on the other side, we don't have a part, we brushed it straight forward in the direction it grows without a part. And then we see a little bit of product there. A lot of these heavy creams and pastes, they tend to make the hair look white if you don't comb it through thoroughly. And we'll come back around and you see we have a nice low hairline. So we're going to pick it up with the comb, and normally when you texturize hair you just stay on the top third and make one cut. But what we're going to do is, this client likes a lot of texture in his hair, we're going to start halfway down and we're going to close the scissor 3 or 4 times in the same section, but as we're doing that we're raising the comb up, so we're not cutting in the same spot. If we cut in the same spot we're going to cut length. But if as long as we move the comb and lift the comb as we're closing that scissor, when you pick the hair up, you can see how even it is, but how much texture is in the hair. Okay, so now we're blended and we're going to continue on around the head. So now, where the round part of the head is, as it pushes the heel of the blade, the tip of the blade out, I push the heel of the blade in, if you can see that like that, and then we go take an imaginary line straight up in the air. So I want to finish off a little bit lower than I did with the 2 blade. So each blade, you want to finish off a little bit lower. You want to slightly angle your blade away from the head. You can't see it, but you can hear it cutting. Okay, so we've dipped the blade down, and now we're going to start coming up on the other side. You want to stretch that skin. If you see any dark spots, you want to stretch that skin to lighten the hair up. Okay, and now that our haircut is complete, we're just going to unbutton him and we're going to spin him around, give you a full view of the fade and the style. And if you notice in the back here where it grows in the circle, we've pushed it forward so it doesn't stand straight up.